for fight. We know you're in the middle. You're in the middle of your preparations, but we're going to delve into that later on. But how you been
Yeah,
doing though? How you been keeping?
I've been good, man. Training, staying focused on the next fight, and yeah, life's good, man. No complaints. Yeah, happy to be
That's
doing
good.
what I love. That's good.
That's what's
Nice to
up.
be
That's
here
what's
with you
up.
guys again as well.
100%, man. I love when you pull over here with us because we can get your takes and some of the things that we're going to talk tonight. They definitely good. We're definitely going to be knocking on your door to get some of the perspectives on it. But the next brother to join us tonight, big up my brother Shahid. He's the one that's pulling up here
Woo,
tonight,
woo.
man. Talk to
What's
me, brother. How
up?
you doing?
I'm always good. I'm always good. Eid Mubarak to all the Muslim followers. I mean, everybody doing it. Hey, we out the fast now, and it's looking good, baby. EFC 112, and it's hot. It's hot, and
It's
yeah,
hot. It's
ooh.
hotting up. It's hotting up. It's hotting up. Yeah, we're going to talk about all of that, man. We're going to talk about all of those things, man. And yeah, happy Eid Mubarak to you as well, my brother. And Jordan, no haram talk tonight, man. Some Muslim brothers on the stage tonight, man. You know what I
No
mean? No
haram today,
haram
bro.
talk
No,
for you
no
tonight,
haram
man.
today, mate.
You know what I mean? Serious
Hey,
thing, man. Yeah,
hey,
man.
everything be halal today. You know what I'm saying?
No haram, all halal. You know what I mean?
As I said to Adrian last week, everything's lekker, bro. We're good.
Yeah,
Hey,
everything's lekker.
hey, indeed,
I
indeed.
like that.
Yeah, man. And last but not the least, the big man himself, kick him in the head. He's
King of
joining us tonight.
it! Yeah, that's
How
right.
you doing, my bro?
I'm doing amazing, phenomenal. Thank you, Ola. How are you doing tonight, gentlemen? How's everyone?
Good, mate. We're
All
good.
good, yeah.
Good,
All good, man.
good.
All good with that.
Yeah, man. So we got some crazy topics to touch on tonight. Crazy, crazy topics. And when we look at the landscape of MMA, obviously we know UFC 300 is literally upon us. Not just that. How about what else is upon us? EFC 112 is also upon us. It's right here. It's happening tomorrow. It's knocking on the door. But we're here to talk all about it. But first, the first topic on the docket, right? And I want to go to, let me go to Jordan on this one because Jordan is the guy that earns this brother's gloves. Yeah. He won his gloves. Jordan ain't never won nothing in his life apart from that apart from that $1 that he turned to
So that one
$500, you
thing,
know.
mate. Yeah.
Jordan ain't never won nothing in his life, but he found himself winning a John Jones gloves. Now, this brother got arrested for some fuckeries, bruv. Yeah,
John Jones,
get
not me.
fucked.
John Jones, not me. Just
You got his gloves. Oh, you got
Hey,
his gloves. We holding
I was
that man.
about to say what was going on.
I ain't ever been arrested, son. That's Scout's honor right there. You know what I mean?
The record is clean. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying?
Oh,
Straight halal over here, bro. I ain't ever been in the back of the police car.
But John Jones, we heard
Hey,
John Jones, the report out there that John Jones is attacking not his father, but the drug agency people. You know, as Triple B told us, call them drug agency people. Yeah, because we don't. Does anybody know what name they called by now? Do you know what name? Does anyone know?
Nah.
Yeah, nobody knows. Nobody cares. Everybody knows USADA, and that's it.
It was Drug Free Sport International.
How
we'll
is
call them
somebody supposed to remember
USADA
that?
-1.
What was
You
the
know?
team that went and cleaned up after the Avengers called? I can't remember now. We'll just call them.
The FSI. That's what I'm trying to
B
say.
Squad.
Right? But no, on a serious note, John Jones, you know, he's the reports came out, he done something to this drug agency guy, assaulted him maybe, he's gotten arrested. Look, tell us all this crazy shit that's going on with John Jones, because when you look at John Jones, he's got previous history with all this kind of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, like the man's getting in trouble all the fucking time. And to be honest with you, like I said, I'm surprised they even found him sleeping and he wasn't hiding underneath his bed before they actually turned up to the house under there for like what 3 days or some shit, hiding away from these people. But he got out and he's somehow, God knows what happened. Yeah, I mean, like, did the media run with it? Is that what happened there? And they've created a story bigger than what it was, or did he genuinely I don't know, he probably got pissed off that you woke him up. I'll get pissed off with Shouter if you wake me up. You know what I mean? And I'm not getting drug tested for a fight. But he came out and said on Twitter it's all been blown up.
I think so.
One second. I mean, you said it's come out on Twitter and said it's all been blown up. Everything that John Jones has ever done outside the
He's always blamed somebody else.
always blamed somebody else. John Jones is never taking responsibility for a damn thing. Right.
Okay, so let's say heavyweight John Jones threatens your life. Are you turning around and walking the fuck out of that property? Or are you hanging around to get your job done?
I'm getting
No,
a
I
job
will.
done.
Bro.
I'm getting that job done.
It depends. It depends on how much I'm getting paid because
You have you ever heard the phrase, "Yo, I don't get paid enough for this shit"? Have you ever heard
Hey.
it before?
100%. I say it most days.
But the thing is, you get assaulted by John Jones and you can sue the pants off him. So for me,
and then you're the most hated person in MMA. You're literally the most hated person in MMA. Like people will be like, "That's that bitch that fucking tried to sue John Jones," and everybody would know.
I know you say you can't.
I don't know.
But look at this case then. Colby, who's got all the money to do all the suing, is suing Masvidal. So what's been the end product? Right? This shit's going to take a while while you're suing,
exactly.
man. Your
Those
jaws
two
are going to be
motherfuckers-
hurt immediately. The money might come 2 years down the line when John Jones decides to come for some money. You know what I mean?
You really want to see
Fuck
that
out
drug
of there.
tester and John Jones in the octagon, don't you? That's what it is. He was like, "What happened with that fight? Them two ended up in a cage. What's going to happen this time? These two motherfuckers are going to end up in a cage."
So my day,
Everybody.
should we be getting the drug agency people to knock on your door to test up them gloves?
To test that glove, mate, because it was in a white writing and it's a bit powdery. It seemed like it was coming off a little bit. Like, I mean, there was. See, when I smelt the glove, I did get some buzz off it. Like.
I'm just imagining CSI with some heavy beat, just like with the swab going through and testing everything.
CSI do not want to be checking that glove after I'd done what I'd done with that glove. I'm just going to tell you that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Let me come to Adrian real quick. I mean, as somebody that gets tested yourself, you're a professional fighter, you're in this game, you don't know when these guys are going to turn up. Give us a synopsis of maybe some of the your experiences of interaction with these sort of people. Are they like annoying like that? Do they just turn up when you're about to get some pum pum, man? Bro,
I tell you what,
you got give us some blood today, bro. Like, tell us how it goes down, bro.
I tell you what, like I've never had any drug testing organization or whatever come knock on my door randomly. I mean, I've been tested at an event like straight after a fight, and that was just like a urine test, and then they take it to the lab or whatever. But when I was in the States, I was there for like 3 months, and I promise you, I saw USADA pitch up at the gym like multiple times within a space of 3 months, and they were testing the fighters there at the gym. So they come regularly and unannounced at any time. It's like they just rock up there, and it's like, okay, pee in this cup, please, and you got to do it. You have to do it. So,
are they usually nice about it? Are they nonchalant about it? Do they challenge people?
I don't think they're there to. I don't think they'd be there, but like, hey, you better pee now or whatever. I don't think they're like aggressive in any way or you know. I think they professional when they come in and they ask you nicely and so on. So I think if there was any altercation or anything that was like you know, that got out of hand, it's definitely because maybe the athlete didn't want to cooperate. You know, because I mean, they just there to they literally just there to take a sample of your urine and they're gone. That's it. They're not there to, you know, like do a cavity search or anything like that, you know. Right. So I mean, and at the end of the day, you're a contacted athlete, and that's part of your obligations. So you have to pass these tests. You know,
100%. They signed the contract for this stuff, Shahid. I mean, when you hear this sort of stuff, I mean, like I said, this is not John Jones's first rodeo on all kind of crazy shit. You know that like he's got a list as long as my arm, and this brother don't care. It's almost like he don't give a fuck, right? But
didn't he hide under a cage? He hid under a cage or under a ring once when they came.
Right? We hear all these stories. But Shahid, like, is this something that UFC? Do you think this is something that they will continually, like, just give grace to? Because it seems like he can do it and get away with it. Most people would have been caught for some of the things that John Jones has gotten away with.
Back in the day, when there was first team rugby situations, and these first team rugby guys used to get in trouble all the time, but nothing would really happen. And it's like with Conor McGregor, you know, there's this grace when you one of the like top performing homies, and at the end of the day, not everybody is treated equally, and I think that will always be how the UFC operates. If you're a cash situation, they will they will bend the rules for you. And I mean, we've seen it. Like, look what's happening with Conor.
Conor McGregor.
Would they ever exactly, Sanchi? I mean, would they ever do this with anybody else? I mean, look what happened with Nate Diaz. And hey, man, I would have loved to see Nate fight a little, just like at least one more fight. I mean, we're going to see that with Masvidal. But I think the UFC will always look and fighters differently. I mean, Sean O'Malley, we've seen it all the time.
All right, fair play. You made a good case there for John Jones. You should be his lawyer. You should be John Jones' lawyer.
Hey,
that motherfucker,
you know what?
He gets off with everything anyway. You know what I mean?
Hey, if the price is right,
Hey, yeah, let me come to you with this one here. I mean, with John Jones, staying on topic, with John Jones, is he holding up the division in your eyes? Because look how long we had to wait for him to be a heavyweight. Just building into the frame of a heavyweight, we had to wait for him for that long. And now he had one fight, lasted 2 minutes, put Cyril Gane away, and then this. Tom Aspinall's been trying to get through the gates, can't get a word in with John Jones. What's your opinion on this, brother?
He is the GOAT. John Jones, like you said, we waited 2 years and he took 2 minutes to put Cyril Gane away. And then he was supposed to fight, shoulder injury. Is he holding up the division? Yes. You can't have Tom Aspinall fighting for an interim title. It doesn't make, he's fighting to defend an interim title. It doesn't make any sense. You need to unify the belts. I mean, imagine if JP Kruger locally in the EFC had gone and fought against someone else. Luke should have just given up the title, but he came back. So the point is, no, I don't think that John Jones should keep the title. I think not that he should be stripped, but something needs to happen. He can't just hold on to it, because the heavyweight title is one of those coveted titles in sports, entertainment, and sports in general. Prize fighting, heavyweight is always the man, the baddest man on the planet. And right now, the baddest man on the planet is nowhere to really be seen.
Tom Aspinall.
Fighting, unfortunately. So, you know, he needs to do something. Either he needs to fight Tom Aspinall, or he needs to fight Stipe, or he needs to say, okay, listen, guys, I can't fight anymore. When I come back, give me a guaranteed title shot, and no problem, I'll vacate for now. You know, something like that. But, you know, holding up the heavyweight division isn't good for the UFC at all, especially with what just happened with Francis Ngannou as the last heavyweight champion. So now they're going through this twilight phase of heavyweight champion. So he needs to do something for the sake of the organization.
Yeah, you were going to say something?
Don't talk about Francis like that, yo. Francis Ngannou is a damn hero going out on the canvas like that. Fighting Anthony Joshua. No, I will make this case until I die. Yo, I saw that. Yo, when I saw him go down, Hey, there was some emotions there. A tear was shed. Francis,
I'm gonna come back and get your emotions on that in a little while. Let me just get onto this here. I'm gonna shift gears a little bit here, and I'll stay with you, Shahid. Right? We saw Brendan Allen last week, fought on short notice against Chris Curtis. He wins the fight, and he calls out DDP. He calls out Dricus Du Plessis, right? And he says, listen, if Islam can get a short notice fight against Bobby Green and get a title shot, he thinks he deserves a title shot at DDP, right? And he's saying if this one doesn't do it and he has to fight one more, then he'll do it. But we've now heard that the fight that UFC Africa, this is a two-part question. You can answer it which way you want to answer it, right? UFC Africa is no longer happening. They turned UFC Africa into UFC Perth. How upset are you, brother? And do you think this call out from Brendan Allen is valid? Talk to me, Shahid.
You know what? I've got the hope, and I pray every day. So you know what? At the end of the day, UFC Africa is very much alive. It can be anywhere. We have one of the most beautiful countries in the world, and everybody needs to see. Everybody needs to come visit. It is a destination for combat sports. Amen to Africa. Boom, boom, boom. Always, always, always. Never gonna die. We're gonna have millions and millions of champions. The pedigree in South Africa is outstanding. So I've got all the faith in the world in our athletes here in South Africa. And I think UFC Africa will have no choice but to be alive because, hey, with great Sanchez, what you did over the last UFC, it was beautiful. People, you need to watch what's happening at the UFC. It is insane. And what's happening with the other promotions in Africa, it is beautiful. So I definitely think UFC Africa is alive and well. Having Dricus there is beautiful. Now, how valid is that call out? How valid is any call out at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? When you're standing up there, you just want to fight. You could have lost. All logic flies out the window once you've won. You know what I'm saying? You could call out flipping anyone. So at the end of the day, the adrenaline, he makes a valid point if we're looking at it in a very logical sense. But in UFC maths, it makes no sense whatsoever because DDP is the man at the top. We've got Robert Whittaker, we've got Pablo, we've got Israel. Pereira might jump down and want to fight him. You know what I mean? There's so many. It's like the multiverse of things that could possibly happen from Dricus and Israel, and we've got Martin Vitor we can't forget about. I mean, there's so many incredible middleweights in the UFC. It's so stacked. So does he make a case? So I don't think it's a very valid call out, but in logical maths, he has some sort of point. So let's do the call out.
The call out is dead. What about you, Yao? Like, how are you looking at that call out there from Brendan Allen? Because I mean, calling out DDP after a split decision win against Chris, you know, against the Action Man. Like, what's your take on it? You're on mute.
I'm back.
He's back.
DDP has done what he needs to do to be the man that gets called out by, quite frankly, nobodies. If you look at who Brendan Allen is and what he's done so far in his UFC career and what DDP has done. So for me, that's, kudos. The same way everyone randomly and stupidly calls out Conor McGregor, well, if they all randomly and stupidly start calling out DDP, then we know he's made it. We know he's at the top. So for me, hey, more random call-outs. Let's get it. Let's go. It's more for the stature, more for the legacy that DDP is building as a champion that everyone is aspiring to beat. And that's what we've been talking about in terms of what the UFC needs, in terms of having solid fighters to carry divisions. He, in having a Brendan Allen call-out, is starting to carry the division. That's what it means. So I'm very happy to hear that call-out.
You got something on this, Jordan? Like, you saw the fight.
The fight was supposed to be against Marvin Vettori. I want to see this stone chin, rock solid hand, big ass Italian motherfucker feed Brendan Allen some meatballs and spaghetti and see if he's still standing by the time he's done with it. Yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted to see. He needs to get one more fight in there before he's getting any sniff of this Parmesan cheese title. Yeah, I mean, it's just not even happening. Like, no danger, bro.
Put some extra cheese on that shit, yo. That's what I'm talking about.
and for you, Adrian, we knew, you know, when Dricos won the title, you know, the joy he brought you, the joy he brought Shahid. We did the watch along together. We was buzzing. Jordan, you was there.
Yeah.
We was all going off our fucking nuts, right? He wins this thing. We got the glitter of UFC Africa in our eyes, in our minds, and we're even thinking, you know what? If it happens, Shahid even promised us a spot on his fucking couch. Like, he will tell the dog, fuck off. That big ass dog.
Whoa. I'll chill on the couch with the dog.
No, with that fucking big ass dog. Have you seen that fucking dog?
The bigger the better, bro.
It's what's up, yo. It's what's up.
That dog can fucking lay on the fucking ground, bro. But it ain't happening now. UFC saw to that. Adrian, what are you saying about the missed opportunity, especially the hopes for you know, a lot of the African fighters that are on the EFC roster, and even on different promotions across Africa? How do you feel about that fight now going to Perth?
Look, I was obviously, like almost every South African that supports DDP, like I was hoping for like a UFC Africa. And I'll agree, like with Shahid. I don't think that it's not going to happen. That it's going to happen. I just feel like maybe they haven't. I don't think they've planned it out yet, like 100%. I think it's something they've spoken about. It might be something on the cards, but I don't think they've created any infrastructure for it yet or anything like that. And I think with like, you know, the pressure of DDP now having to defend the belt, I think it's taken away that time that they need to plan the event properly, you know what I mean? But it will happen. I think it will definitely happen. Hopefully end of this year maybe, or, you know, early next year or sometime. It must happen like soon. But going to Perth, I'm okay with it. I want him to defend the belt, and I'm glad he's going to be fighting Israel as well. So that for me is the main thing.
Yeah, let's spitball that he beats Izzy. You can't deny him where he gets to pick if he goes to Africa. You know what I mean? If he beats Izzy in Perth and he calls out for this African card to happen, they've got to give him some leeway to be able to start looking into it and start looking at the logistics and everything that goes along with it.
He deserves it. He deserves it. Then it's not about like pleasing South Africa as a country. It's like for him personally, he deserves to have a defense in his home country.
He deserves to get cheered for once when he walks out and not booed.
Exactly, 100%. So it will be something that the UFC owes him to do. So it will happen. Yeah, definitely. I see it happening very soon. So let's just hang tight. Let DDP go show Perth how it's done, and you know, and then UFC Africa.
We've beaten Australia multiple times in rugby.
Yeah, I mean, we can do it in. No, I mean, he's not from Australia. He's from New Zealand.
I know, but just danger territory. You know what I'm saying? Our history with New Zealand is very much the same as well. So
very much the same. Let's see.
I mean, I don't know if New Zealanders are gonna be. It's like calling, you know, it's like saying Chinese and Koreans are like pretty much the same. Like, they'll tell you, fuck. Bro.
I am definitely not saying that. I'm just saying we got a track record as South Africans.
It's like saying Nigerians and Ghanaians are pretty much the same. We will tell you, fuck no, bro. You know what I mean?
Especially when it comes to the jollof.
I think you're just trying to claim your countrymen. I think you're just trying to claim your countrymen, Ola. I think you're just trying to pull up that Nigerian flag.
Any chance he gets, mate. Any chance he gets. You know what I mean?
You got guilty as charged. Okay. Let me change gears. Let me move forward a little
See,
bit.
see when USADA had to go and test Izzy, they had to move fucking all out the way
fuck off.
first.
Izzy got the fucking 50 fucking jacket, bro. Yeah, you got that 50 clean jacket, you know. Like if you ain't clean and you ducky, you saw that here, there, and everywhere. You don't get one of them.
I'm not.
You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
saying
Calm
anything
down,
about the
bro.
brothers' credentials, mate. I'm just saying they had to move you out of the way
We
to
will
get a
not
sample
tolerate
first.
any
Like.
easy slander around me, brother. You know what I mean? This is serious. Okay.
Don't even start talking about Usman. You know what I mean? Camaro.
I've got
I'm murder
that
somebody
covered.
for that one day.
He ain't ever gonna bring up Usman with me again, bro. That's how that's gonna be.
I hope a chance for a rematch comes. But hey, let me move on to this one here real quick. Right, we've heard Tom Aspinall, and I want to stay with Adrian on this one. Yeah, we've heard Tom Aspinall talk about very recently. It was on Ariel's show, and it was talking about how Cyril Gane is ducking everybody in the heavyweight division. Right, he's ducked fighters like Pavlovich, Curtis Blades, him, you know, even Tom Aspinall himself that was talking about it. And you, as a fighter, you've said it multiple times. You ain't never ducked a fight in your life, bro. They said this is who you're fighting. You're like, yeah, bring it on, let's do it. Short notice, you saying no problem. Where is he at? Let's turn it on. Now, what do you make of this whole thing about Cyril Gane ducking all these fighters, right? And probably when they now get to the gold, it's probably going to be looking for a chance with them. What do you say to that, brother?
I don't know. Maybe his confidence has been broken, because that's the only thing I could think why a fighter wouldn't want to get into a fight is maybe because he doesn't feel like he has the confidence to get in and do the job. Maybe, you know, maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, maybe the fight against John Jones broke him a little bit, you know. And I mean, he was champion, he lost the belt, all of those things, and then, you know, John Jones comes in there and like schools him. You know, it can definitely mess with you mentally as a fighter. You know, it breaks up your spirit, and maybe that, you know, subconsciously he could be feeling like that, and he's like, oh, he doesn't want to fight this guy. Maybe he wants to fight this guy. And, you know, he's trying to find someone that he maybe could feel is a fight that could, you know, get him back on his feet or get him some momentum before he takes on those bigger fights. So it could possibly be that reason. Otherwise, he's just confused and he doesn't know what he wants to actually do. But at the end of the day, you know, it's different when you haven't become a champion yet. You're hungry. You want to fight. So any opportunity you get, doesn't matter short notice or if they give you time to prepare, doesn't matter what kind of level the guy is. You want to get in there and, you know, show your worth so that you can get your chance at the belt. And I think once you get the belt, it's a little bit different. And then to have to go and lose the belt in that fashion as well, you know. So I think he just needs to figure out what he wants to do and then make up his decision. But if he wants to win the belt back, he needs to just take what opportunity they give him and use it.
Okay, Yao, from a fan's point of view, because we've just heard from a fighter's perspective, but from a fan's point of view, we sit down, we're matchmaking our heads all the time and thinking, oh yeah, that guy should fight that guy. Even though we know we don't put the fights together, but we're thinking like, yeah, that guy should fight that guy. That, you know, this style fits that style, and all these fighters are talking about Cyril Gane, and Cyril Gane is somebody that not just touted, but we saw it ourselves how good he is at what he does, right? But I can understand the Blades one, and I'll tell you why. Before you go to your point, when Francis Ngannou turned to Francis Nurmagomedov against him, he's thinking, "Fuck no, I ain't getting there with Blades." Fuck
yeah,
that.
Wrestle. So
I can get that. But what about these other two guys that will probably be willing to stand with him? And I think he's a very, very good striker that manages distance. What's your opinion on all this, brother?
Look, Bon Gamin. Cyril Gane is like you said, he's a phenomenal fighter. He's an excellent fighter. But the weakness in his game is the fact that he comes from a kickboxing background. Somehow, Alex Pereira, Poatan, has made coming from a kickboxing background his strength, but not have that weakness, or he hasn't faced someone who's a phenomenal wrestler as yet. I don't know. But that, I think, is the part of his game that's lacking, and he knows that it's lacking. That's why he tries to work on his takedown defense. But like we saw with John Jones, once he goes to the ground, he doesn't have much to offer. He just wants to stand up so he can get back to his kickboxing. So maybe that put the fear of God in him, for lack of better wording, in terms of going into these fights now, because now he's thinking, well, if I don't get this right, there goes my record. I need to make sure I get it right. Maybe he's training, although honestly, from what he says, when he's not in camp, he doesn't train. And if you check any of his content on social media, he's definitely not training. So if he's not training to fix that gap, and he's only going to try and fix it before any fight, no matter who it is that's in front of him, I think we might see another Tai Tuivasa. The difference between him and Tai is that Tai kept active. So unfortunately, Tai is taking a big dip in the heavyweight division. So maybe that's what his concern is if I am too active now before I've managed to fix it, then what do I do? But if he's not working to fix it, then what's he doing? He's, once again, another gatekeeper potentially holding up the division. So I think I just want to see him. I want to see him come out of whatever funk he's in after beating Tuivasa, which, as I said, maybe he shouldn't even have been up there. He only got up there because Derek Lewis decided, I'll fight anybody. I'm the black beast, love Derek Lewis. So I think Cyril just needs to fight someone and fight them now.
100%. Look, let's move away from the Cyril conversation, because I think it's only a matter of time before people start looking at him differently. Like, bro, what are you doing? Are you gonna get in the cage or not?
I think Adrian nailed it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, 100%. Jordan, let me come to you on this. I don't know whether you've seen this video of Conor McGregor sparring that's just been surfacing, right? The guy that he's sparring in these videos, it's just crazy. It's crazy because the way he was styling on this brother, the way he was piecing this brother up in the fucking sparring thing, a lot of people started coming out saying, no, this guy is his mechanic. I know this guy. Look how fat that guy is. Why is he fighting this guy? What's the point of fighting somebody, or no, not fighting, but sparring somebody that's not going to challenge you in sparring? I've never sparred before, right? But I know you've been in the gym and you've rode on mats and you've been in there with some fighters, Jordan. So I want to ask you, like, Chandler is really putting it on him. He calls him out and saying, what's the point of sparring, having a sparring partner if you're just going to do what you like to them? They're not going to challenge you. And what kind of sparring partner, is he brought up to try and show that he's able to get back in there with him? And just tell me what you make of that whole point of just trying to prove to everybody, look, I'm back and I got this can in front of me that I'm whooping his ass right now.
Instagram will eat it up. Social media will eat it up. Twitter boys will eat it up. It gets people talking. We're eating it up. Yeah, I mean, we're all talking about it, bro. We're all talking about it. And that's his whole fucking agenda. That's the only thing that this man goes for, is keep me in the headlines and keep me talking. Yeah, I mean, whether he's beating up his mechanic or his fucking local fish and chip dealer, I mean, like, the dude's just gonna start styling on people. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah,
Jake Gyllenhaal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Jake Gyllenhaal, Uber drivers, drivers. He might meet up with John Jones and start beating up some fucking USADA drug or whatever they are, drug testers. It's all for show, bro. It's all for show. It's pathetic at the end of the day, innit? I mean, and he was standing there with the pictures after it, wearing the shin pads with blood on them, thinking he was a bad man. And don't get me wrong, he was a bad man back in the day, but what's he doing? Like, he'd probably knock my ass out still, but still, it's probably like, would. Whatever.
But let's talk to somebody that knows one or two things about really getting after it in sparring, hard sparring, normal sparring. Yeah. You know what I mean? Who the fuck is Adrian, man? Let's go to you. Adrian, I mean,
hey,
you know when we're talking about like what Conor's doing here, like, a lot of people are saying he's throwing the same combo that he's been throwing for fucking years. It was so flat-footed. Even though it was whooping this guy's ass, everybody's saying how flat-footed it was. Maybe that had something to do with the injury, maybe the leg, because Conor is somebody that's always on his toes, always bouncing. There's a bit of movement there, but it was so flat-footed in the way that he was moving. And people thinking, bro, anyhow you step in there with somebody like a Chandler, he's going to murder you. Talk to me.
The first thing that came to my mind when I saw that post was like, I was like, bully. Why is he like bullying these guys? You can clearly see that they're not on his level. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gave them like £100 each or something. Was like, just come spar with me, you know, and you get to take some pictures with me afterwards or whatever. And like, you don't do that. It's definitely. I have to agree with Jordan. It's definitely a publicity thing. He's trying to make himself look good. And he's like, yo, check how clean and crisp my punches are. But I mean, your punches are going to look clean and crisp if you're hitting someone that's like levels below you. You know, you can see how intimidated that guy is that while he's standing in front of Conor. He's like doing this like the whole time. Like you can see he's like worried. So it's easy pickings for Conor. So it's definitely a publicity stunt and stuff. And I mean, if he's supposed to be fighting a guy like Michael Chandler, you want to have intense sparring sessions. You want to have sparring partners that's going to challenge you in a way that you think, that would mimic Mike Chandler. And he's an explosive guy. Like he's not a pushover in any way. And you can't be sparring with tin cans and like cab drivers and stuff for a guy that's like a former world champion, you know? So it's definitely a publicity stunt. And I hope that like it was just like a once-off thing and that he is actually doing intense sparring behind the scenes. But if you look at this that he's doing, he's done it before with Paulie, when he was doing the boxing, how they took sparring footage and they made Paulie look like an idiot. Oh, he got knocked down in sparring. You see, they try to do it with a professional. And yes, Paulie was out of shape and he looked a bit chubby and so on, and his cardio wasn't there. So they like really exploited him. So I think that's what he was doing there with those guys and trying to make himself look good, you know. And whether we're saying, oh, he's looking sharp, or oh, he's calling him a bully or whatever, we're talking about him. And I think that's, like Jordan says, that's what he wants. He wants the people to run after him. Now that he's going to be fighting in June and everyone's like, oh, Conor's fighting, I wonder what he looks like. He's like, I'll just put out some sparring footage of me beating up these wimps or whatever. And then
it's still not even been announced properly yet, though, has it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like someone just put a poster out. So it's it's not like Dana White said, "Hey, what's up, fight fans?" He didn't do that.
Oh, bro, like Dana White was saying about the UFC coming back to the UK, and we'll all find out in a matter of days. We're now sitting here 2 weeks later, still waiting. Dana White ain't got no sense of time, son. Yeah, I mean, like look at that UFC 300 main event. We're all on Dana White time right now, mate, and we won't be finding shit out for months. Like
for real, we're already on Dana White time.
Just to finish what I was saying, like in my opinion, I think it was a dick move by Conor to do that. You don't do that. And I mean, especially and even if these guys are actual fighters, like I mean, that's disrespectful. You don't do that. Why? Make it look, promote yourself and stuff. But I mean, don't just make it obvious, like, oh, look, I'm beating the shit out of this guy. It's a little bit, like, it's pointless. Why you want to do that? What's the point? We all know you're a former double champion and you can beat the shit out of people. Why must you keep showing us? Like, get in the ring and actually do it and become a champion again, and then maybe we'll be impressed. But
the only sparring footage that I enjoy watching is when it's two teammates in the gym working on the craft together, and it's like, two people that are like both happy for the footage to go out because they're helping each other sharpen the tools. Anything else other than that is for sure.
That's 100%. And and then that shows like the good side of the sport, where it's two guys that are determined and willing to work hard and to sharpen each other's swords and to sharpen each other's weapons and iron and so on, and then learn something from each other. That's the way, but not like go in there and like bully someone where you know that this guy's not going to touch you. Like it's cowardly in a way to do that.
Yeah, man. 100%. I'm with you on that one, man. That one there looked crazy to me, man. I just saw the footage and I was like, I can't believe what the fuck I'm watching here. Like, what the fuck's going on? You could just see him standing.
And that picture with the blood on the shin pad. Oh my goodness, I was actually cringing when I saw that. I'm like, my bro. Yeah, I'm like, why?
Yeah. Was that blood pizza sauce? What's going on here?
And it's not even a lot. It's not even a lot of blood. It's like a drop of blood. And he's like, oh, look at the damage. Oh, and I'm like, what the hell, bro? Just relax.
Crazy. No, let me do a quick housekeeping real quick. Big up to everybody in the house, everybody that's watching us live, all of you that's watching us on playback. Make sure that you're following every single one of these guys description handles. The handles are going to be in the description below. Make sure that you're following them. Make sure you're checking them out and checking out their work as you know, as they put work on their own channels and their own social media pages as well. The next one that I want to go to is Holloway, right? I'm gonna come to you, Yao, on this one, right? Holloway calls out Islam for not fighting Justin in February, the same way, you know, Cyril Gane could have fought Tom Aspinall in Paris, but he's calling him out for not fighting Justin in February. Everybody knows he can't fight during Ramadan, so we know that. Obviously, he's back in training now. We've seen footages of it. He's there with, you know, the main man Khabib in his corner, and he's looking absolutely wham. I don't know how we got to that weight, but we're going to talk about that later. The one that I really want to hone in on now is what Max Holloway is saying here about Islam not fighting Justin in February, and knowing that Justin just knocked out Dustin Poirier, but all of a sudden he wants to give Dustin Poirier the title shot, right? So what's your take on this? Is a two-part question because this spilled over to Michael Bisping, where Justin Gaethje spoke a little bit of English. I said Bisping is talking bollocks, right? he said Bisping is talking bollocks, right? Because Bisping is saying Dustin is the right man, and Justin is out here trying to fight featherweights, right? What's your take on this whole back and forth about? And is Holloway trying to make a snide call out just in case he beats Justin? I say, you didn't fight Justin, I'm going to fight you. What? How do you see this whole thing?
So Max Holloway has gone up. We are all looking at it as if he's gone for the BMF title. That's why he's up there. But it's a very intelligent move to lightweight, a very opportune move to lightweight, in a fashion of, listen, I'm here for the BMF. And as you just said, Ola, but if I beat your BMF at your weight class, of course, if you're supposed to fight him, how can I not call for a title shot? Especially if you're looking to fight Dustin Poirier, who just lost to the person I beat. And MMA math, like Shahid said, MMA math is something else. You know, MMA math does not work the way it works. But the fact is, he's going to have a claim. He's going to be able to say, look, I've moved up. I'm a lightweight. I am a former interim champion. I have touched a title before. So yes, give me the title. And I think he's doing it in a very smart way by using the BMF, something that's a very new title, but something that all the fans are very excited about. All fans seem to respect it one way or the other. Very few fans look at it with disdain or anything. We look at it and say, well, look, it doesn't really mean anything, but we're willing to say whoever has the BMF title is a BMF. So he's looked at that and said, lightweight, let me jump in. Let me go into show the lightweight division that I can go into deep waters at the lightweight division. Let's go. So I'm really happy with him, with this little sneaky side sort of, you know, cheeky in to say, I'm also someone you can talk to if you're looking for a contender at lightweight. Let me be the backup when someone is when the next title fight is there, because you know I can do it.
Shahid, just piggybacking of what Yao's just mentioned there, in terms of, you know, Max Holloway doing this magical MMA math thing where he's strategically trying to get in there. But from Justin Gaethje's point of view, do you think it was wrong of Bisping to really go at him and try and put Dustin Poirier in front of Justin Gaethje as the rightful person to fight Islam, in your opinion?
Hey, you know, it's MMA is an emotional situation. So we all thought Dustin was going to eat the dust. You know what I'm saying? So when he did what he did and he knocked, that knockout, I loved it. It made him relevant. It made him so relevant in the MMA conversation. And Dustin Poirier is one of those people that you just want to succeed. I mean, the way he held that interim title and he was crying, I don't know. I was crying with him. I was there. It was so emotional, and he's just one of those fighters that you want to fight for. I mean, it's like a JP Kruger. It's just an awesome guy. You just wish him the best. But hey, I don't. Is he that relevant? I mean, Islam, what Khabib did, and it doesn't logically, it doesn't make any sense to me. Justin just kicked him, and it makes no sense to me. When people started saying it, I was no. It makes literally no sense. And what's happening with Max and Justin looks way more entertaining and logical in the lightweight division, because your boy Max is looking thick. And he's putting on that weight. He's coming to stay in the lightweight division. And I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Lightweight has always been a very contentious division. And I think it's just going to get more and more interesting as we see 300 unfold. But Dustin, hey, the diamond needs to rest for a little bit, because this last title run, I don't know where it came from. We didn't expect it. And maybe we don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Because after Khabib, after Justin, it's like, are we gonna all just get disappointed again? I don't know. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it.
I mean, a lot of people don't. Let me come to you, Adrian, because you also in this weight class as a lightweight yourself, and you see the way that division is been moving, right? But a lot of people are kind of almost like a foregone conclusion that Islam is going to do what Khabib did to Dustin and Justin back to back. It's almost like in everybody's mind. You can hear Shahid. You can hear the way he's talking. But we all know MMA don't go like that. You know what I mean? There's some surprises that can be in the pocket. We know MMA is crazy, right? Especially in that division. Lightweight is probably one of the most unpredictable divisions out of all of the weight classes in the UFC. I love the bantamweight division as well, but lightweight for me is so fucking militant. Everybody is a fucking savage in there, right? So when you look at this whole thing with Dustin, Justin, and Islam, do you think Islam should really be giving Justin the chance, even though it's been booked? Because I can almost promise you, if Islam was to come out and say, Justin, you're next, that fight with Max Holloway gets scrapped, bro. He will look for injury to get the fuck out of it today. Right? I'm lying. Bro, talk to me, Sanchez.
I think we should see Max Holloway, Justin, like we're gonna see now on UFC 300. And then the winner of that fight should fight Dustin. And the winner of that fight then should fight Islam. Like that. That's how I think it should go. Because Dustin, that title run came out of nowhere. I'll agree with you. But his form right now, he's fucking on fire. Like, he's doing well. So why not? But I wouldn't give him a chance straight away. He needs to still like earn it. So Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, I think Max Holloway coming up to lightweight is an interesting change. And if he can beat Justin, then he's proved that he can bang in the lightweight division. Then okay, cool, you won this fight. Fight Dustin Poirier. If you can beat Dustin Poirier, we give you a title shot as well. So Max can have a chance as well. But let's see. I don't think anyone deserves a shot straight away. They still need to earn it. But I would like to see a Justin Gaethje and Islam fight for the title. I think that would be interesting. But I think it could also possibly go the same way as the Khabib fight. But let's see. Maybe Max Holloway's a wild card as well, and he burns through the lightweight division and gets a shot. You never know what can happen.
100%.
It's interesting. Very interesting.
I mean, McDane, you could hear the way Justin was obviously going back and forth with Bisping, and Bisping's sort of response that, look, I'm just a knucklehead from England that just likes to watch fights. I do my job. I go home and I come on fucking YouTube and just talk shit. So,
no man alive.
No man. Right? So the back and forth that he's got going on with Justin and Justin Gaethje there is crazy. And like Adrian just said there, could Max be the wild card? Because we saw it, right? A big fight was lined up. Something happened. DDP had to come in. Sean Strickland, just like a makeshift, and then he threw fucking spanners in the work. What if Justin loses that fight to Max Holloway? All of a sudden, the Islam versus Justin fight is down in the like. What do you think about this whole merry-go-round that's going on within the lightweight at the moment? And Max sprinkling his own little spanner in there, brother.
The Blessed is best, brother. He's one of my favorite fighters, if not my favorite fighter of all time. Always has been. I've been watching his career for the entire length of this. But as a Max fan, I am not sure I want to see him in there against Islam. Yes, he's a volume striker. He can pepper the face off of people, moving up to lightweight from featherweight. He's long, he's rangy, he's thickening up, yeah, but he's still quite a skinny boy that'll beat the shit out of you all day, every day. You know what I mean? But he's still a skinny boy, and I'm not sure how the wrestling exchanges would go against somebody like Islam, who's considered as a bit of a weight bully. He weighs a lot more than 155 walking in there on the night, and that will make a massive difference. But what I was going to say to that is head back a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, because they'd done a press conference. Was it just before 299? Or no, maybe the one before 298. Was it? Yeah, it was during the Volkanovski and Islam rematch, I think. Actually, just after that, or during that weekend, they'd done a UFC 300 press conference where they had Justin and Max on stage. Dana himself, I'm pretty sure, came out and said Justin's next, regardless of the result of the BMF. I'm pretty sure Dana has said that Justin is next in line for the Islam fight, regardless of what happens. So that kind of just, I mean, negates anything. But it's the UFC at the end of the day. They'll always swap and change and do whatever the hell they're going to do. Like they can do that.
Dana says a lot of things.
Can Max win this fight? Yeah, potentially. Do I think he's going to? No. I think it's going to go the 5 rounds. I think it's going to be a war. I don't think either of these men are going to be fighting for the next 6 months, 9 months, potentially 12 months, depending on the fucking damage that they do to each other.
Suspension, eh?
And it's definitely one of those fights.
Long term.
Yeah, long term.
It's got that Rory McDonald, Rory Lawler feel to it for sure.
I mean, look at
just bleed, baby.
Look at Tony Ferguson, man. He's 7 fights down the line and he's still fucked. You know what I mean? Like, going in against Justin Gaethje is not an easy task, and going in against Max Holloway, you can volume strike the face off you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not an easy task either. So yeah, I see Dustin doing the more damaging strikes in this one. Yeah, like I say, it's gonna be a 5-round war, and Justin's gonna win it on significant strikes. Max will probably have the volume, but he's going to be wearing it a lot more. Look at the Dustin Poirier and Max fight. I don't even know if I'd want to see that run back if he does manage to beat Justin.
Yeah, just a quick synopsis on the next topic that I wanted to bring in. We've seen the amount of eye pokes. The craziest one that's happened recently is to Bruno Silva and Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman poked. I'm going to start with you here, Adrian, because to poke somebody's eye one time and then knock him out, that's bad enough. But to poke him in one eye and then poke him in the other eye and then knock him out, bro. Talk to me. They got new gloves coming out for UFC 300.
We're fighting, bro.
And what do you think of the eye pokes that's leading to wins?
Getting poked in the eye. Getting poked in the eye is a bitch. It happened to me in my second pro fight against Serge Cassandra, and it was like the first punch I threw. I went in with a nice stiff jab, and he stepped back like this, and his finger went straight in my eye. I got the picture and everything. Like, you can clearly see the finger going straight in my eye. It's the worst feeling in the world. I had to take the full 5 minutes to fix my eye, and even after that, I still was a bit blurry. So I can only imagine what Chris Weidman must be feeling, because his eye looks like a plum, But I feel like sometimes
it was Bruno Silva. It was Bruno Silva that got poked in the eye and then got knocked out.
Oh, Bruno Silva. Was it Bruno Silva? Sorry,
yeah, it was Weidman that poked him in the eye.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Carry on.
Yeah. But anyway, regardless, I feel like sometimes it's out of your control. That's just the way you moved, or your hand went that way. But I mean, if you're gonna John Jones it and fucking do this the whole time deliberately, then then there's a problem with you. You know, then I like doing the thriller dance. I mean, you know, there's a difference between okay, that was an accident, and then stretching your fingers out like John Jones and like trying to literally
Restless, yo.
You know, but
Restless, yo.
I hope they don't change the gloves too much, where it gets to a point that some guys are like uncomfortable with it and so on. But just enough to keep the fingers down like that. It's fine. Just so that when they do open it up, they don't have enough to extend the finger all the way. But we'll see. You know, it's just one of those things. Just don't be an asshole. You know, just don't be a dick. Like don't. It's like groin shots as well. Like groin shots. Don't be a dick. Don't. You kick me once, okay, cool, it was a mistake. Or you hit me once, okay, fine, it's okay, no worries. We touch gloves, we carry on. But do it again, and you're an asshole, because now you know you're not supposed to kick that low, and there you go, and you do it again. Same thing. You poke my one eye, okay, cool, no problem. Touch gloves, carry on. You poke the other eye, now you're being an asshole, and then you go and you win the fight. So you know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. That's what I'm saying.
Can I jump in and ask a question here from like a fan to a fighter? See, when you get kicked in the nuts, are you standing up and you get that, whatever you get, right? When you get kicked square in the nuts, are you standing there going, you motherfucker, you're going to get it now? I always think it, bro. See, when a fighter gets kicked in the nuts, I'm like, you motherfucker, you're getting one back after this. Like,
dude, let me tell you something. You know that fight I had against Godley, where he didn't kick me in the nuts, but he gave me a knee shot while I was on the ground. And I immediately got up. And I walked away because I was like, and I looked at my corner, and Coach Mike was like, what's going on? She said, you need me in the head. I was like, this motherfucker. And I'm standing there and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm going to move this guy now. Like, I'm going to go in there and beat the shit out of him. How can you do that deliberately? Kick me in the head. You can see, like, you're a professional. You should know the rules, dude. Like, control yourself. But here you go and you give me a cheap shot like this. Now I'm going to fuck you up. Now I'm gonna like beat the shit out of you.
Before now we're fighting, bro.
Now, I just also need to jump on with a little question. Does it feel lacquer to actually hit the guy in the face after they do something like that? Because us normal homies don't ever get that chance. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. It's like when someone like pushes your buttons and you can't do anything about it. It's like, now you push my button and now I can actually do something about it. So get ready because I'm coming for you. And it feels like it does feel good. And especially when you win the fight as well, because then you're like, hey, you see, that's what you get for being an asshole.
It's wild. It's wild, bro. It's absolutely wild. Let me jump on this question real
on
quick.
These nuts.
I told you about Ramadan, you fucker. Yeah, I told you about Ram.
It's all allowed. It's all allowed.
You should see this fool in the WhatsApp group. You know, you can't fucking help yourself, man. Halal, not haram, bro.
I've told you enough times, bro. What comes up in here comes right out of here, and I never even think about shit twice. Like, I just fucking.
At least give the people, give our audience the fucking Mubarak today, man. Let them not listen to no haram. You know what I mean? Just give them today, man. Come back and talk all your shit, bro. You know what I mean? Today for Eid Mubarak. You get me? Right. Let's go to this next topic here real quick. Right? We see Jamal Hill. Right? There's clips floating around. He meets Alex Pereira. Right? Yo, I'm gonna come to you on this one, yeah. He meets Alex Pereira, right? And then it proceeds to handshake, to adore him, tell him how much of a fan he is to him, and start asking him for autographs. Right? I'm gonna come to Sanchez after this, yeah. But yo, is this a behavior going into a high stakes fight to be having with somebody that you're just about to go in battle with?
If you're Jamal Hill, yes. Why? Because Jamal Hill is playing our favorite thing, Mind games. Why do I say so? If you know anything about Jamal Hill and his YouTube channel, very specifically, it's very scathing, very critical, very antagonistic. It's very angry, if I can use that wording. So for him to go up to Alex Pereira, and I actually just saw
an
the
angry
video.
black man.
Haram.
America's a tough place.
I just asking the question, bro. I'm fucking with you. Oh, let's go.
So to see him in that light, I mean, he's beaten up his brother recently. He's also got John Jones's issues, beat up his brother. So if I look at that and listen to all that and see him handshaking Pereira, oh, he's genuine. He definitely is a fan. And what's going to happen is that when it comes to the weigh-ins, when it comes to the face-offs, that's where we're going to see it kicking off. That's when we're going to be like, oh, that's when Pereira is going to see the real Jamal. So I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with it. I mean, we have fighters taking pictures with each other after bludgeoning each other half to death. I mean, this McDane, I'm sure you've seen those pictures running around this week of Michael Chandler after he fought against Justin Gaethje, all messed up, Calvin Kattar versus Giga Chikadze, and they're taking pictures. So
eating pizza together and shit.
Exactly. And this is after they bludgeoned themselves. Huh?
Kattar and Chikadze when you've got Max Holloway and Kattar. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, Max Holloway beat the brakes off of that boy, man. Like,
yes, and he's gonna destroy Aljamain.
Whoa, Aljo!
He's gonna literally destroy Aljamain. I'm so sorry, Aljo.
Aljo's been very active, and Kattar's been off of an injury. It's going to be an interesting matchup.
I don't know. I've just got such faith in the Boston boy.
We're going on a tangent here, right? But
while we're staying on topic, right, with Jamal Hill, let me come to you, Adrian. Yeah, right. As a fighter yourself, you know, there's certain energy that, because I saw it with John Jones when Aspinall just pulled up on him out of nowhere. He wouldn't even let this brother touch him on the shoulder and told the brother back the fuck up. Right. Yeah. He also told Tom, we ain't taking no pictures. None of that shit. You know what I mean? Tom asking for a picture and it's like, no, fuck that. You ain't getting no picture.
No. He got his picture. He just didn't do a square up. He wouldn't do a face off.
Well, he tried to do the face off.
Don't be doing my man Tom like that, bro. Don't you be doing my man Tom like that.
Well, you know what comes to mind, for me, what comes to mind when I look at that, because I also saw that clip where, you know, Jamal Hill was very respectful, and he's like, I know we're gonna be beating the shit out of each other, just like in the ring or whatever. But he says, I'm still a fan, and I'd like your autograph and a photo and all of these things. So, like, he's being a nice guy, like, you know. But it makes me think of the saying: keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So it's definitely a mind game that he's playing. And it's like,
sorry, just to come in there real quick. We saw Cyril Gane behave like that with John Jones as a fan. As somebody that idolizes John Jones, and then he got in there with him and just froze. This man saying I'm a big fan and looking for autographs and trying to be a fanboy. This is what I'm trying to say. Is that something that should be happening before a fight? After a fight, I don't think there's anything wrong in doing that. But before a high stakes fight, title fight at that, should that be happening?
Look, I think two things, you know, there's two kind of mindsets that you can have with this. Yes, you can be respectful, and then when you get into the ring, you still have that kind of respect for him. So it's like, oh, he's better than me. He's like my hero. Oh, I'm a fan of his. Like, I know what he can do. So you respect him in that manner, and then he beats you. But then again, you show respect. Like, I would say, like, I hope this is what's going to happen with Jamal Hill, because I don't want him to get in there and freeze. Like, I want to see an entertaining fight. I want to see these guys beat the shit out of each other. But like, the other mindset is you're just being respectful to make them feel like, oh, okay, this guy's not too bad. He's not like going to come in there trying to hurt me. And then you flip it on them once you get in the ring. You know what I mean? And then that's where you catch them off guard, and then they're like, "Oh shit! But what happened to the respect you were giving me yesterday? What happened to you're my biggest fan? What happened to you wanted my autograph? Now you've been you know, like, what the hell?" There's a word for it, but it's like, I wouldn't say like reverse, like reverse psychology almost. You know what I mean? It's like how's it going, man? No, it's all good. No, don't worry about it. Then you get in the ring and it's like, you want to kill him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
McDane, I mean, you said I went trying to do some dirt. I just forgot the way the pattern went there, and it was for a square. It was for a square up, and John Jones said no. But the logic still remains, right? But what I'm trying to say, okay, all well and good. We've heard from Adrian there, but in this particular instance, do you think again does Jamal Hill? Does it flip the script, for one of a better word? What Adrian was looking for there? Does it flip the script on Poaton and start disrespect, like just showing signs of disrespect? Because you can over respect one person and then just go militantly disrespectful once you get in the octagon. Like how do you see this going?
Alex Pereira didn't have a fucking Scooby-Doo what was going on when it came up and started speaking to him. Yeah, I mean,
and that's why the shit won't probably work on
It looked like he didn't even know they were gonna fight. It was like,
other than the language barrier. Yeah, I mean, other than the language barrier, this brother didn't have a Scooby-Doo what fucking planet he was on at that moment in time.
Sorry, I thought his interpreter was lying to him, bro. I don't know what the interpreter was saying to him. God, the look of Alex's face.
He just said he's going to kill you. All he needs is your signature on it, the dotted line, so he can go in there and do it legally. That's all he said. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know, man. Right, so yeah.
That's funny.
Like Yao said, his YouTube channel is quite an angry one. You know what I mean? It's antagonistic, all the rest of it. We can all be that guy, bro. We can all be that dude, and we can all be nice, and we can, you know what I mean? We every single one of us have got more pages to our books than what we show in one sitting. As far as a saying can go, yeah. I mean, if you want to take that as an analogy, as much as you can, and I think that's just another page of it. Like, I quite enjoyed the video. He asked every fighter on the card to go and sign this jumper. I think he's just trying to take something from himself for this historical event that he can keep a little momentum. Yeah, I mean, and again, it goes back to the old days of martial arts. It was all about respect. It wasn't any of the shit talking. It wasn't any of the bullshit until we had the likes of Chael Sonnen turn up, and then Conor McGregor and everybody else along the lines, and Colby Covington. Yeah, this wasn't martial arts back in the day. Martial arts was get on the mat, bow, kick the shit out of each other, bow, and then go and have something to eat. Yeah, I mean, like that's how that stuff went back in the day. Right, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was nice to see. And again, is it I don't think it's mind games. I genuinely don't. I think he just wants that little thing for himself, and he was saying, yo, what's up, dude? Like, no hostility. I'm just coming up and saying hello. Big respect for you, because they're gonna get respect. Like, anytime you go into a cage, and Adrian will vouch for this as well, anytime you get into a cage, as much as you don't like a brother, by the time you finish with that fight, you're probably going to have a bit of respect for him, because you've just gone toe to toe.
Of course.
Whether you win or lose. The respect is earned, it's gained, and everything by the end of it. Yeah, I mean, and I just think that's what it is.
Yeah, man.
I always love having a word with my opponent after a fight. Always. When we're in the medical room, sometimes they don't want to say anything or whatever, but I always, you know, try have a little chat with them and get to see how they feel after the fight, what they thought or whatever, you know, just like, because that's a kind of a bond you'll never get from like a normal interaction. It's only something that fighters experience.
Yeah, 100%. Shahid, you have something on this with Jamal Hill running into Pereira and shaking hands and asking for autographs?
Hey man, I think that, I don't know, Adrian, maybe you can testify to this, that at the end of the day, we can all shake hands and it can all be lovely things. But when business is business and that cage door closes, hey, I've done a little bit of sparring myself. It doesn't really matter who's on the other end there. It's all about moving and doing your thing the best to your ability. And I mean, when you're on the grandest stage of them all, it's UFC 300. I really don't think that anything else matters once that cage door is closed, and it's gold on the line. Jamal has so much to prove, and he's been saying he's gonna knock out Pereira. So, hey, I see it as like, hey, Ramblin' Dad, he hit it on the head for me, man. It is what it is. It's one of those historic events. it doesn't matter who I'd be fighting. I'd also be getting people to sign things, and maybe you see something on eBay a little bit later. But it's all good. But I honestly think that if you don't try to commemorate like such a beautiful historic moment in some way or another, you're gonna lose it. So I think it was a beautiful thing. He did the exact thing that I think most people might not think of doing, but would want to do, and it made it an awesome moment. And once that cage door closes, your boy is gonna go for gold. So hey, I love it.
Wait and see. Let's wait and see. It's around the corner.
Just to build on that before we walk off from it, like what Shahid said there as well on the cage door closing, you can physically like see a change in the look in some men's faces when they step into the octagon, hexagon, cage, whatever the hell it is that they're getting. Like you see them at the press conferences, you see them in the day-to-day content they're putting out, then you see the face and you see some of these motherfucking eyes when they step in there, bro. It is a different gravy on some of these dudes. You know what I mean? What did you just say there, Ola?
I told you about Kamaru Usman, bro. It's over, bro. You know what I mean? Like the whole attitude just changed, and I get it. I understand it.
It's just a boom.
Yeah, the switch. You know, they turn that, they flick that switch, and once the fight's done, just like that, the switch. You know, just like Adrian just said, the emotional psychology, you want to check on the welfare of that person. You want to check how they're doing. You just become human again. You stop being a fighting machine and you become human again. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of our sport. That's the beauty of our sport. There's one more topic I want to hit here before we go to a little promotion that I've assigned to Jordan. But there is one topic that I wanted to talk about here, and I wanted to get your take on it. I'm going to start with Yao on this one. We heard Gilbert Burns. He came out and, you know, he talked about the judges' pay, and he said these judges, the amount, the wrong decisions that we keep seeing every time, the wrong decisions we see from these judges. There's no wonder they keep giving consistent wrong decisions and wrong judging, right? Because he revealed the pay. He said at the apex, these judges are only earning $300. And for pay-per-view cards, these judges are getting $500 for pay-per-view cards. And that's why they'll stay there for 8 hours watching the fight intricately. And that's why these guys, because they're not being compensated properly, he feels that's why there's so many bad judges at the highest level. What's your take on that, brother?
It's interesting. I'll be honest, I didn't hear it, but I'm fairly close with a judge here in South Africa who is an international judge who confers with your Mark Goodards and your Herb Deans.
Right.
Ooh. So the pay is not spectacular. They do it mostly for the passion, yes. Does it impact? It must, because you're looking at this industry worth billions and billions and billions. And at the end of the day, they always say, don't let it go to the judges. There's a reason they say, don't let it go to the judges.
Well, they pay shit.
And it might not even just be the pay, but also I've sat ringside before. And when you're judging, honestly, you can see a fight completely different to how someone else has seen it when you're sitting in a different position. There's certain things that you just don't see that someone else would. So, it's tricky to, blame it solely on pay and to say, look, judges are really crap at the highest levels because, I'll just mention one name, the Saudi Amato, where sometimes you're like, but are you really a judge? Have you ever judged before? Because what was that? How is that a 10-8 round? And then it makes you wonder. So, increasing their pay, the question is, would it fix it? I doubt it, because at the end of the day, when you have that level of power, you'll always get someone who will come in eventually, depending on how you flip it. Do you keep the same 3? I mean, they only seem to have like 8. If they're only like 8, then they should get compensated well, because there aren't that many. If there were a lot, then it should be different. But I mean, if they're only like 8 to 10 that you see consistently, I agree, pay them well. What's $500? Come on. What is $500? So yeah, I agree. They should be paid more if that's how much they are paid. But would it fix the bad judging? I don't think so.
Adrian, let me, because you've been on the end of some bad judging decisions yourself in your career. You know what it's like when these things happens to fighters. But on the other hand, I want to note this and make this very clear. This is not the fault of the UFC. This is the Athletic Commission. Yeah, the UFC does not pay the judges, right? It is the commission that takes care of the judges and the refs. They bring the refs in, they bring the judges in, and that's just how it goes with them, right? So it's the commission that's actually paying these judges this amount of money. Obviously, the promotion would have probably invested quite a bit of money with the commission, and it's then up to the commission to pay the refs and the judges accordingly. Now, Adrian, what do you think about these judges, especially at the top echelon of the game, getting this amount of money? Because that can only lead to some kind of temptation where outside influence, say like a Drake, can get in touch with the judge and say, listen, you get 500 pounds, I'll give you 50 grand because I'm about to put 2 million on this motherfucker over here. It never works. Anybody Drake bets on. We see what happens.
Drake cursed.
DDP literally said, thank you for betting on Shot Strickland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but
We saw it.
But what I'm trying to say is outside influence, Drake is the wrong example. Outside influence can come to these judges and say, you're getting paid shit money, right? I can give you this much that will make you worth your while. No one has to know about it. Can you go in and do this? And they're probably more than likely going to be compelled to do something like that if the opportunity
everyone
comes
has their
along.
price. Yeah, I think so. I think it's if they could get their worth somewhere else, then I think that's what people would do. I mean, it's like basic corruption as well. People are underpaid, and it's easy for them to be influenced to do the illegal thing. When the price is right for them in that sense. But I think if these judges were being looked after a bit better and paid a bit better of a salary, maybe they would take more pride in their work. Because I mean, it's kind of like an insult when you're trying to do this out of the goodness of your heart, and you this is something you're passionate about, and then you put in everything out there for them, and then you're giving you like peanuts. I mean, it's easy for them to go and make a shit decision and be like, oh, you pay me so little, then fine, I'll make a fuck up here, and then there's your event for you or something. So people can be spiteful in that sense as well. But coming at outside influence and things like that, I think that comes down to each individual's integrity and how they are as a person. Are you easily influenced to do the wrong thing, or are you a person of good integrity where you want things to be fair and according to the book and how it's supposed to be judged? But there's a lot of factors and a lot of influence, and I think that them having such a shitty pay can definitely be one of the reasons, because then it's like, I'll just there we go, that's a point. I don't need to take this too seriously. They don't take me seriously. But if they were being taken serious and being paid what I think they deserve, or whatever they deserve, then of course I think they would be way better at their job and pay way more attention and make sure that the right decision would be made.
What's your thoughts on I'm sorry if I've asked you this before, I can't remember, we've done that many live streams and everything together at this point now, but what's your thoughts on open scoring then as a fighter standing
I think
in the
that's
cage?
great. I'd love that. I'd love to have open scoring, because that where it's like you're watching a football game. You know the score. You know the score's 1-0. From the time the goal is scored, it's 1-0. So you can look at the clock, and you can, as a fighter now or whatever, you can look at the clock and be like, okay, flip, I'm down 2 rounds. I know I have to finish this fight now. Because there's times where you could be like, man, I'm winning the fight, but you don't know that you're actually not. So you could, and then also open scoring can also point out those mistakes that the judges are making, because then that can be adjusted live on air and be like, no, we don't agree with this because this and this happened there, and they can change it, before the final decision is made. And with it being open, I think people will be way more honest as well, because if people don't see it, it's easy for them to, I'll just add an extra point here, or I'll add an extra there. But if it's open, people have more pressure to be honest. They have to give the actual point or score.
It makes sense. Shahid, you wanted to say something?
So I just a little question for Adrian. So don't you think that open scoring might so you up 2 rounds, 3 round fight, you up 2 rounds. Don't you think that the fighter that's winning might start to coast a little bit, pull back because he's already won essentially, and then the other fighter's essentially running around trying to get a finish because at the end of the day, it makes for a weird scenario for that last round. You know what I mean? So what do you think about that as a fighter?
When you get into a fight, you're there to fight. You're not there to run around and run away and things. And I know that when you're in the lead and you're comfortably in the lead, you're like, okay, cool, I can coast through this and I can take my foot off the petrol a little bit and run around, run away. But then judges can sometimes count against that because they'll be like, this guy's not doing anything. He's just running away the whole time. And the other guy's pushing forward. We've seen that a lot of times where guys think they're winning the fight and all they're doing is just running away, and then the judges count against it. So that could also happen as well because now the guy's not being active enough, he's being lazy, he's all nonchalant, and then the other guy's working much harder where he could be landing better shots and the other one's, just slacking off a little bit. But I think it would change, definitely would change how a fight would be because the unknown makes you do certain things, but then knowing as well makes you act in a certain way. So
I think you need to think about your brand as well. You know what I mean? How much will your brand be damaged if for the last round you're just trying to run away because you're like, I've got this in the bag already? You know what I mean?
It's like watching
the
a
fans
football
ain't there
game,
to see that.
It's like again, watching a football game and the team's like 2-0, 3-0 up, and all they're doing is passing the ball around between the midfield the whole time, waiting for the clock to run. I mean, that's
diving for
you're there to
penalties.
fight. Why would you run around? If I'm winning 2 rounds, I want to win the 3rd one as well. I want to whitewash you. I want a unanimous decision. Yeah, I'm not here to not lose the fight. I'm here to win the fight.
That's why we love you, Adrian. But then you have situations where people are trying to pad that record. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
it definitely could come. It definitely could come in those form there. But yeah, when you look at this whole situation here, I mean, my man talked about open scoring, and open scoring could be a good thing, for the sport because it adds that extra pressure. It adds that extra maybe form of honesty, if you like. And with that, who knows? Maybe Yomi Romero might have just won that fight against Easy when they accused Easy of running away. You know what I mean? Who knows? That might have been a thing if there was open scoring. But we look at the judges nowadays and the amount of fights that they call wrong. I mean, we're looking at this UFC 300 card now, and someone like Yuri Prohaska is already thinking ahead of how he's gonna, enter into the title frame once it's done with Rakic, right? With this card that we got coming up, how important is it for these judges not to fuck things up? Because we got title former champions, we got number 1 contenders, we got champions. Maybe apart from Bo Nickel, really, everybody is the who's who of the roster is on this card. How important is it for the judges not to fuck this up, brother? Especially for the fans.
Yeah. Look, it's UFC 300. To be honest, the judges have to fuck at least one up. Otherwise, it's not epic. If I think about it, and if I think about how odds work, there has to be at least one. So the question is, which one? But I think what you're saying is quite right. Because it is UFC 300, it is a showcase for MMA at this point to say, listen, this is the pinnacle of what has happened over 300 events over 30 years. This is what the pinnacle of MMA is. Let's show the world this is what the pinnacle is. So to avoid any of these issues would be phenomenal. But unfortunately, as you pointed out, these judges are handed over by commissions. They're not controlled or hired by the UFC, meaning anything can happen. And I'm pretty sure anything's going to happen. Let's just hope it's not in a fight that means something to any of us. But at this point, the honest truth is, which fight are the judges going to fuck up in?
let's get on to
wait. That's what we should bet. We should bet on. That would be a swing to say which fight are the judges gonna fuck up in.
You know what, that might not be a bad one. Yeah. We'll look at that at the end of the show.
Why did you have to mention that? Always sees dollar signs in his dick.
Hey.
Hard, you know what I mean?
We'll look at that at the end of the show. I actually like that. I love dollar signs, man, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. I love dollar signs, man. But before we do that, let's help our brother over here with what he's got coming up. Please, if you don't mind putting that thing on the screen, put on the big screen for us, and then we'll talk about it.
Might need to stretch the image out. I'm not too sure. Will
you be able to share it?
Is it appearing on my screen?
No. I think if you put all of us to one side.
Yeah, that's what I'm just gonna get it up now. 1 second.
Yeah. Yes.
Now you can see.
That's better. No, just stay behind the picture, man. Nobody wants to see your ugly mug, man. You know, we got Adrian Sanchez away. Okay. Big up everybody that's locked in with us right now. Salute to all of you. Our brother over here, Adrian Sanchez, is preparing for his fight, and he's got back a body campaign going on to help him prepare for his bout that's coming up in EFC 113. Adrian, do you want to tell the people a little bit more about this, how they can get to this link, where they can find it, and where they can donate?
Yeah, look, the link's in my Instagram bio. It's also on my Facebook page and so on. I've been sharing it for the last couple of days. It's like just a little GoFundMe campaign that I've got going, back a buddy, just so I can get some funds and things together to help with like the preparation, with training and traveling and medicals and all of the stuff needed, just to make things a little bit easier and smoother for me, so I can focus on my training and focus on the fight and stuff like that without worrying about finances and stuff like that. And it's difficult trying to secure sponsorship and things like that. But there are these avenues that we can use. So it's out there. No one's obligated to donate or anything like that. But anything I do get, I'll be very, very much appreciated, and will definitely go towards everything that I need for my fights and for my fight and the preparation. So yeah.
100%. And people, you've seen it right there. My man said, no one's obligated. If you follow this channel and you fuck with us, you are obligated. Make sure you go and support Adrian Sanchez. Make sure you go on his page, find the link, click on the link, donate what you can to help this brother get to the cage, make his training a little bit more smoother, so they can do what they do to entertain us as fight fans. That's what we're here for, to try and give back to these guys, and to try and help them get to the promised land. And look, 10,000 rounds is his goal. Really and truly, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot compared to what these people put their bodies on the line to entertain us with. So please, if you have something, anything that's fair at all, nothing is too small, make sure you get onto Adrian Sanchez's page and donate to the cause. Okay.
Even a share on Facebook and social media is 100%, just to get it out there as far as possible.
Right on.
Any little bit helps. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Ola.
Just like my man's shirt over there, the Tesco shirt over there he's got on. You know what I mean? I know his almighty shirt, but it's a Tesco thing, man. Every little helps.
Every little helps.
Every little helps.
For real. Okay. Let's get onto the card that we have on here tomorrow. We're not going to kill too much time on it, and thank you so much for sticking with us for this long, because we've had a big topic to talk about today because of UFC 300, so there's a lot to navigate through. But we want to talk about EFC 112 that's coming up tomorrow. This is a big card. We got title fight on there. Shahid, I've not really gotten your take on this card that's coming up, and I know you're excited about this card. I've seen you on social media. You're losing your fucking mind. You know what I mean? Tell me what you're thinking about this whole card, how you're feeling about it, what fights are you looking forward to? Tell us all about it, my brother.
So I got some debuts coming here. The young guns that are coming in. It's a young gun promotion with Luke Michaels. You know what I'm saying? So Zondi is coming in. Zondi is an amazing fighter from Versus. He's making his EFC debut. He is going to be a prospect for years. He's huge featherweight prospect, flyweight prospect. And then we've got Timmy coming from Quan Vessel's gym, making his debut as well. These young guys are amazing. They train every day. Everybody is just this card is just it's just so much fire. The EFC is going from strength to strength, and what we're gonna see now, we got a featherweight Grand Prix. There is Simba the Hawk. Simba against Billy the Kid is going to be an insane fight for the Grand Prix, featherweight Grand Prix, to see who's going to take on Cabeza. So then we got Cabeza moving up to the lightweight division to take on this vacant lightweight title. I think Smiley takes that title. Smiley coming up to a heavier division. I think he is naturally a lightweight, so that's going to be very, very interesting to see what he does in the lightweight division. Sanchez, it's going to be interesting to see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There could be a good fight there. You know. Oh.
Yeah. Definitely one I'm watching. Just for an interesting fact, myself and Kaleka used to be we used to be training partners. I used to train at the previous gym that I was at before I went to PFA. Pro Fitness. Myself and Block used to train together. So he was my training buddy for like nearly 6 years. So it would be very nice to eventually get, if he wins the fight, which I also think Cabeza will take the title, but to see Block win the title, and then for me to go up against him, which is like my former German son, would be quite interesting as well. So definitely, my eyes are glued on that fight.
So, I mean, just EFC is just insane. And then we've got the Young Gun versus JP, and it's the energy at the weigh-ins was electrifying. And to see what the EFC is doing, I think it's just going to be amazing. When are you guys coming?
Well, we had UFC 300 in the fucking bag. I mean, not UFC 300, UFC Africa in the bag. Please put that screen back on. Put that screen back up, please. Just because I'm going to touch on a couple more things on there. But to answer your question, Shahid, we had UFC 300 in the UFC Africa in the bag. It's now been taken to Perth, so that's not going to be happening for a minute. But whenever the chance happens for one of these EFC cards, man. We'll probably, we should try and make the trip there. Let me come to you, Yao, because we looked at this card and there's some scintillating fights on there. The ones that obviously that I've kind of earmarked the top three fights on there, but there's a couple more that I'm really, really interested in. But what about you? Tell the people. The fighter that really got your attention.
Kick him there! Like that song I'm gonna start with right there, simply because if we look at Intando, the Zulu Warrior Zondi, that's a fighter that's very close to our heart. As Shahid mentioned, a prospect out of Team CIT now, world-renowned gym, working with Drickus, still knocks Duplessis, and for him, this is his first fight as a pro. And he's really looking forward. He's been training hard for months. So I'm looking forward to seeing him ply his trade as a professional against Mpumelelo Mngoma, the Butcher, because that's going to be a good fight. Definitely going to go Zondi's way, but I'm really looking forward to just seeing him as a pro and seeing how he performs. And there's a little surprise you're going to see on his shorts tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on that.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please. Then there's the chef. Dom Bebe, who was in the last EFC, and that ended by no contest due to a low blow. So good to see him back trying again. And then there is this one guy, and I don't know how he takes so much punishment. Rayo, maybe you can definitely tell me, Adrian. Tapiwa Kati is back. He was fighting, yes, against someone who is on the screen with us right now at the last EFC, and he's back again against Ken Sekaletu. And I'm like, but bro, how much punishment can you take?
Dude, wow. Aren't you, like, my thing is, isn't he supposed, like, being knocked out? you're supposed to have. Like, I know that after a fight, if you haven't taken much damage, it's like a mandatory 1 week of no training, no contact, nothing. You're supposed to relax. Then if you get knocked out, I think it's like 6 weeks. And if you like out cold, it's like 6 months or something like that. So I don't know how he made such a quick turnaround, because that was out, bro. Like
I was gonna ask you, like, should he be coming back this early? You know, especially in a division, especially in a division like that, man. Like,
it's because Rayo woke his ass up when he followed up that next shot. You went from 6 months to 6 weeks real quick.
I'll be honest. I don't think it's cutty. I think it's poor management by his team. As as professional coaches and professional team, you're supposed to manage your fighter, and even if he insists on fighting, you should be telling him, no, not yet. You need a rest. You've taken damage. And that needs to heal.
He was alone. He was without his team today. So maybe they disagreed. Maybe he said, I want to fight. I don't know.
That's not good.
Yeah, maybe
I hate when that happens.
He said, no, I want to die on my shield. It could be one of those, you know. Who knows?
And Ken is a strong boy. So
Ken is a damn killer. Ken Segaluto is a damn killer. Yo. Yes, that's so
I mean, like we've all said, like how much punishment can one guy keep taking? I mean, it went to UAE, it didn't really work out there, because TK is somebody that I fuck with, and I fuck with his coaches as well. Like, he went to UAE, didn't really work out there. Came back, didn't really work out. A lot of fights hasn't worked out for him. I think he's on a five lost kids, something crazy like that. Like, you know, I think if there's somebody that needs to take a hiatus, we were talking about hiatus the other day with Brandon Moreno and all those guys taking hiatuses. If there's somebody that really needs a hiatus, it's him. It's him. Take a year out of the sport, go and enjoy your family, your kids. And I know he's got a lovely family, he's got kids, you know what I mean? Always showing them on his posts and stuff like that. But I also understand you want to get paid, right? So there's that balance that you have to get right with your mental, your health, and getting paid, you know, doing the sport you love as well. So I don't know what's going on here with TK. Definitely we're going to be looking at it, and as you guys said, Sekeleto is a dangerous opponent, especially coming back of a vicious KO that Rayo Adrian Sanchez put on him. The Son of Thunder put some thunder on that blood clot thing, and then, boy, the ref had to stop it. I don't know. That's the only one that it's a head scratcher for me. Seeing him on this card, it really is. It's a fucking head scratcher, right?
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't know.
And imagine that.
Yeah, sorry. Say what you
said. No, I was gonna say, and that's just the prelims. We didn't even get to the main card. That was literally just the prelims. This card is fire. It's absolutely fire. It's stacked. The EFC is going from strength to strength. I'm not even going to mention the 2 title fights, but Luke, Young Gun Michael, I was with him a few days ago. We had a great chat. Gave him a gift because it was the first one on our show. JP Kruger, love JP Kruger. After the weigh-ins today, we had a little chat in Afrikaans because his Afrikaans makes me happy. I don't know what it is about his Afrikaans. So I'm really looking forward to that main bout.
Yeah, he speaks it well, man. He speaks it well.
He does. And I understand every word, which is what the weird thing is, because, you know, my Afrikaans isn't that great. So it's phenomenal. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to EFC 112. Tomorrow's going to be great. Yeah.
Shahid, like on the main card, which I know you mentioned a few people on the prelims, like on the main card, which one, like one fight are you really like looking forward to?
Other than the main event, with the Young Gun versus JP. It has to be the Hawk versus Billy the Kid, because I know, and I've seen his gym, Billy's gym, the what's it, Godfather MMA. I've seen what they're doing, and then Simba the Hawk. Yo, that team is so strong. What they're doing at Corvus is insane. They've got Sylvester as well, and that featherweight division in the EFC is looking so hot right now. The fights that we are going to get out of it is going to be insane. So I'm very, very excited for the Featherweight Grand Prix. I'm very keen to see the fights that are going to be made. And I'm very sure we're going to see Billy. I don't know, but the Hawk is a strong contender. Billy is a very, very good striker. So... And he's coming down from, I think he was at lightweight in his last fight. He's coming down to featherweight now. So it's going to be a very, very good showing for both of these two guys. They're both looking to be title contenders. They're both looking to go up against Smiley. So we're going to see what's going to happen. I'm very, very excited for the Featherweight Grand Prix in the EFC. So, hey, that's my, like, other than the two title fights, that's my favorite one for EFC 112, baby.
Yeah. What about you, McDane? I mean, you look at this card, you've heard a lot about, what the guys have got to say about this card here. Like which one? Because I know you're going to be watching tomorrow. We've asked you this before, and I'm glad that you're now a very, very good devoted convert of EFC promotion and African fighters. But which one are you really looking forward to on this card here tomorrow?
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and kid on that I could slip off everything about the EFC as well as you boys can. You know what I mean? But I'm getting invested slowly but surely.
That's a good start. That's a good start, brother.
For a
converted,
start,
yo. Wait.
Yeah, that catty one interests me because I'm like, what the fuck is this brother doing? Like you've all said, yeah. I mean, like I want to see how that one plays out. Like this is going to be too soon for that man coming back. But we've also got Blamby in there, man. You know what I mean? And then obviously Luke Michaels versus JP Kruger. But that Blamby fight too, I can't. That man is built like a brick shit house. He is absolutely massive, bro. And I can't wait to see what he's going to do tomorrow night.
Yeah, man, 100%. And you know what? The one guy that I'm looking forward to seeing, as well as you mentioned with Blammy, Shadrack Unsua, I'm actually looking at Ayanda the Power, Ayanda Zwane. I think this brother here is going to be something special in the featherweight division. I can say I know his come up was, but then you could tell he's got heart. That's the one thing that I associated with Ayanda. When I first see him, I thought, oh, this brother's got heart. And then he just got better. And as he fought, the fight just got better and better and better. And now it's on the Grand Prix to the point where it could take him to the promised land, brother. And I'm there for it, man. I want to see him shine. I want to see him do well. And I really, really want to see him really take this fight. And win this fight in an impressive way, and so Shadrack, because we said this the other time, when I was talking to you, that the 185 division is crazy. It's crazy because of I mean, if Luke Michael gets past JP Kruger, the line of opponents that he's got coming his way is fucking insane. We mentioned the likes of Yaku Duplessis. We mentioned the likes of Diego Bandu. We mentioned the likes of Shad, Unsua. Like the guys that are there waiting for him, knocking on the door, it's just madness. And the next, pay-per-view events that come up with EFC 130, 140, 150, we got to keep our eyes peeled. We know Adrian is going to be on EFC 113, but we got to keep our eyes peeled on what's happening in that division, because that division is going to be is just going to be
quite open at the moment.
Oh yes,
quite open at the moment.
100%. And let's see what happens. And it all starts tomorrow. Make sure people you're tuning in. Make sure you're supporting some of these guys that's on the screen right here, and make sure you're showing love to the promotion itself, because these guys all need the eyes, they all need the subscription, they need everything that that brings money into their pocket, because this we just heard about Tapiwa Katikati, how much sacrifice this brother keep laying down just to put food on the table. That's what these guys are. They're prize fighters. They don't fight for no reason. They're fighting to put food on the table, to get money in that bank account, man. Make that bank account great again, people. You know what I mean? It's one of them. Make the bank account great again, man. So we've come to the end of the show, man. And guys, it's been one hell of a show. We've got UFC 300 on the horizon is upon us. We've got EFC 112 is upon us, and you guys have been able to share you've been able to share with the people that's been listening, whether you're watching on playback, whether you're watching live. Make sure you following these guys. Make sure you're subscribing to them. And Dane, let's come to you first. Where can the people find you, and what do you got coming up, my brother?
Rambling Dad MMA podcast on Instagram, Rambling Dad podcast on YouTube, McDane MMA on Twitter. You know where it's all at. Yeah, I mean, we've got we'll have the prelim gang standing up this weekend. I'm pretty sure we're going to be jumping into a watch along this weekend. We'll have the picks and predictions show on Friday. I have got interviews that I've already recorded with Octagon fighters that are going to get dropped ahead of Octagon Birmingham next week. I have got an interview with this man right here that will be dropping before his fight also. And not to shit talk, bro, but your Wi-Fi has been fantastic tonight. So I think you've got some favoritism to Ola here, because me and you were all over the show when you were recording with me, brother.
I think it was my device. My device is better than stuff.
You're good, bro. I'm just chatting shit.
It's
always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. But yeah, I mean, follow me on all platforms, and if you like the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like. So yeah, cheers.
100%. What about you, Shahid? Let's come to Shahid. Where can the people find you? Tell the people what you got coming up. Let them know.
Guys, you can follow me on. Thank you very much, Ola, for that. By the way, you can follow me on Instagram, Full Metal Roberts. You can follow me on the podcast, Full Metal Podcast on YouTube. What we got coming up? I've got some interviews with some mad homies. We're doing awesome things. I don't want to give too much away, but it's maybe some bare knuckle situations. You know what I'm saying? It's looking really good. Bare knuckle Africa looking really hot at the moment. Nice. Very awesome conversations happening. And guys, hey, Matt Dane said it the best when he said, hey guys, if you're liking the things, if you're seeing, if you enjoying, hey, just like and subscribe. And Matt Dane, I need to jump on Rambling Dad sometime as well.
Any day, mate. Any day. We'll get it done.
Yeah, indeed.
What about you, Yao? What do you got coming up? Where can the people find you? Please let them know what you're doing.
Kick him in the head at Head Kick Pod on all platforms. As you know, if you hear that, you know we're there. What we have coming up, we have interviews. So we're doing a special on the MMA SA Nationals coming up on the 18th to 21st of April. So we're doing a deep dive into who the coaches are, who the organizers are, and everything happening with that event. That's what we're really focusing on. But also we have interviews coming with fighters. We've got Diego Bandu coming. We've got a lot coming. We've got quite a few interviews coming. So that's what we're busy with. So don't forget to follow, like, comment, subscribe at Head Kick Pod on all platforms.
100%. And last but not the least, Adrian, let the people know where they can find you. Plug your handle. Let them know what you got coming up as well.
Rayo 9201 across all platforms. You'll find me, or Rayo, the Son of Thunder. That's on Facebook. But yeah, Instagram, Facebook, you can catch me there. And yeah, follow my pages and so on for any fight updates and everything that's to come in the future. And yeah, hopefully soon you'll see a belt, some gold on the website. I mean on my handles and on my Instagram social media accounts.
Don't forget to donate. Don't forget to donate.
Yeah, don't forget to donate when you can. And
back the body.
Anything received will go towards my training, and I appreciate all the support. Thank you.
100%. And people, you can see all our handles right there. The Fight Week Show on Spotify. The Fight Week Show is on Rumble. We're on Instagram at t.tfws official. X on Black Scorpion Free on X. We're everywhere, people. Any kind of streaming platform that you have, we are on there. And make sure that you're signing up on thefightweekshow.com as well. That's where our website is. We've got some of our merches on there. And we're going to be doing a watch along this weekend. We're going to be doing the prediction show, as my man mentioned, and we got some interviews coming up as well. So make sure you're keeping it locked on the Fight Week Show. Make sure you're following all of these guys over here. And up until the next video, people, hasta la vista. We're out. Salute. Love.
Hey guys, this is John Anik from the UFC. You're watching the Fight Week Show.